How did I get to number one in the book charts so quickly? Is a question that a few people have asked me. Like, how did you get to number one within 12 hours? How do you do that? Because for some people who are producing creative work, writing, you may have books coming out yourself. You're like, how do you make that happen? um, and so I wanted to talk briefly on that today, but invite you to the workshops that I'm running on the 2nd of September that go into more detail about this. Because if you have something to sell, or you want to launch something, so it might not even be that you have something to sell, but you have an event that you want people to see. An example of this is a friend of mine, Simone, recently did a mural painting on the pavement. So they're not selling anything, but there was this amazing artwork. And when you create something like that, you want people to see it. You want people to kind of know that you did that. You did that. And so part of this is about raising that awareness of the art that you've made or selling it. And so, for me with the book, I always had bestseller on my radar. And when I visualized, I thought, oh, wouldn't it be amazing? It's the ego, isn't it? Like, wouldn't it be amazing if I could say that I'm a best-selling author? But ultimately, when I went through the process of writing the book, even though that was a dream and I did focus on it, there was this part of me that thought, you know what, if I'm not though, I want to create a good book. And I know and trust that that book is going to get into the hands of the people that need it. And that was the most important aspect of the process. But of course, those who know me know I strive. And if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't really cut corners and I don't really do things by halves. I'm all or nothing. And that's just how I'm wired. So with the book and with anything, if to become a bestseller, you need sales, and need sales, you need people. And I just say this all the time, but people are everything. They really are. In the process of writing the book for me, people around me were everything. The people that I could speak to say, what do you think about this paragraph? To speak through my ideas with people, to send it off to my editor to get the feedback, to seek advice from people, to know what steps I needed to take to become a bestseller, to know what the process of writing was. How do you publish it? Like, what are these steps? And people were everything during the process. And so for you too, in terms of making your art and sharing it and growing and learning, and then connecting it to people and opening doors of opportunity that lead in different directions, comes from connecting with the right people. And that's what I'm passionate about. That's what is all in the book. That's why it's called Find Your Voice, Find Your Purpose, Find Your People, because I believe that when you nail that bit, when you get really connected with your voice, who you are creatively and what you are putting out into the world, and it feels good and you're in alignment, and then you understand the purpose of that, because it does have a purpose. It serves a purpose in your life and it serves a purpose in the lives of others. And when we understand that, we grow confidence in that and we want to share it. And then we can start to look for the clues that relate to people. And we have stories that connect to other people, that explain the reasons why our art exists and how this work is different to this one, but they're connected because of this. These beautiful tangents. This is what you start sharing with the world, and people then start to take notice. You'll gather and build your art village around you, and it's amazing. And so with the book, I created a village, and I have been creating a village for years. And so for me, someone said to me the other day, can you break down how you did it? Can you jump on a call? And I'm like, it is literally in the book. It was a process of, over time, I have created an art village, and I've connected with people, and I have swapped and changed what I do, but ultimately I'm helping artists. And in different ways throughout the years, I've helped artists, sometimes with selling, sometimes with the actual making, sometimes it's been with mindset, sometimes it's been with planning, sometimes it's been with discovering and unlocking their voice. So many different ways, and I will focus on one way at a time. And throughout that, I've grown a following, and it took time. But the same can happen for you. It starts with the people. So before you even do the next creative project or the next book, start growing the network first, your network, your village, closely related to what it is that you're doing. And so that's where you start, is what am I doing? Because I think that's where people often go wrong, because they're not actually connected to what is happening here. Why am I creating this? And there's all these pieces that seem unrelated, but are they unrelated? They can't be, because I made them. So what's going on here? And sometimes it just takes a little bit of self-reflection. And in fact, there's a great quote in the book, and the quote is, let me just grab it. It's by Seth Godin. You can't be seen until you learn how to see. And I love that quote, because that takes us back to the inner work, the time to reflect, look inward at what's happening, what's going on, and making sure that we are making work that is in complete alignment with what we really want to do, that is expressing our voice, and we're not trying to just please other people, and that we are connecting to the actual feeling of the work and what it actually means, the purpose, because there is one. And so this is what we're going to be delving into on the 2nd of September, the Make Art Your Living workshops, which is all about this. It's all about why you create what you create. And we're going to take one piece of work and really delve deep into that piece of work, into why it exists, what it actually is, and who's it for, and work through the steps, because then you start to see instantly, it will happen instantly, the connections that you're not seeing. Maybe because you're asking the wrong questions, maybe because you're busy and overwhelmed and you've lost touch with what is actually important to ask. So that's how I got to that number one spot, is I rallied my people around and said, this is what I'm doing. And they all were on board. And it didn't take that many people. And sometimes we think that we've got to have thousands and thousands and thousands to make an impact, but we don't. You can do this with a few people. So join me on the 2nd of September. It lasts for a couple of weeks. It's a big workshop, so you have plenty of time to watch the replays and go over everything. And I'm on hand. I carve out that time. It's the last time I'm going to run this for a while. And yeah, I'd love you to join me. I'd love you, if you want to kind of connect with your work again and really take time to understand why it matters and who it's for, and understand the steps to connect with people, then this workshop is 100% for you. And I hope to see you there. Take care. Bye.